Alright guys, here we have a 2007 EZGO TXT gas. This is a interesting one here. This one was in here not too long ago for a full service after winter storage. It ran good, started, ran, drove, stopped, start, and steered. No problems. Customer called me up early this week, and said kids are driving it. Well, she says kids, but they're, in their 40s. People were driving the cart and backfired, and then it shut off and quit running. So this is basically a crank no start. You can hear it's kind of weak on the start. So it's either going to be potentially some trash in the carburetor. It's really hard to diagnose something when somebody says it backfired and quit running. It's possible there's just some trash in the carb. It could be the valves need to be adjusted. Or the engine's blown. I mean, it could be any one of those three things or something else. So let's pop the seat off. We're going to do a quick test on this. We're going to see if it's got spark, which it seems like it's got spark, but we'll do a compression test on the cylinders and see what the heck's going on here. Get our compression tester out. This thing is stinky. We'll do a compression test first and see what the story is with that. Seems a bit, we might have to tighten that up. That plug wire seems a little loose. I know they work anyway, but yeah, see, this was just serviced on the 30th of April. Wait a minute, am I going the wrong way here? No. Oh. Plug's a little wet. Ow. Holy shit. See, these are those hard to get in. Oh, there we go. It's hard to get down in there on these. See, that plug, I don't know if you can see that. The gap closed on that one. All right, well, the good news is the plug shorted out on this one, so that's a problem. That we can fix easily with the gapping tool here, aka pliers. Probably end up replacing the spark plug. Spark plugs come pre-gapped, so it's not like you really gotta fuss with that too much. You guys can see me, right? Yeah, you can see my big head in the way. Let's get you in on this a little more. Okay. Key on, we're in neutral. 150. That's a good cylinder right there. I don't think it's this. I think there just might be that spark plug shorting out, and I think there might be some crap in the carb. The fuel doesn't look terrible. But see, I never really know how old the gas really is in these things, because the people tell you that, oh, it's fresh gas in a can, and it could have been sitting in their shed for 2-3 years. I just put it in the tank. All right, compression's good. You can see that. That's 145. All right, so compression is not the issue. Let's put that spark plug back in, see what happens. The pistons are both going up and down, so I know a connecting rod didn't break. Usually it makes one hell of a racket when they break. Clank, 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 clank. Yeah. And with these, if one plug shorts out, they both won't fire. And that's probably where the backfire came from. I'm willing to bet. I've seen that happen before. The plugs just get really hot. And they, the electrode bends, it warps from the heat. especially if you're over revving the engine. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot of torque on those, but I'm not. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, so we definitely have an issue with the carburetor because it did run, and it ran on both cylinders that time. And boy, you know, I cleaned this cart before I brought it back, and there was not this many leaves on it, so I think somebody went off-road. This stuff was not in here after I washed it. Or they have some critters living in here. Well, nonetheless, let's see, how's our oil look? Oil's still clean, which is what I expect. All right, let's pull the carb off and see what's going on. See, I try to keep you guys as close to the action as I can, but I hate these things. These are one of the hardest air inlets, intake tubes to take off. I don't know why, but they are. Well, I know why. It's because somebody thought that putting that lip on there was a good idea. Well, we got to take this off anyway. We'll get this off here. We got our fuel line off. We'll make sure the fuel system is actually pumping too, because that's also a possibility that the fuel pump shit the bed. And if that's the case, then we'll throw a fuel pump on it. So what I do is I'll take the fuel line. I don't know if you can see that. Okay. I basically just pump it back into the tank, and that's good. That's got some really good flow. So we know that's not the problem. I wonder if we're going to have to fart around with the starter generator on this one. I think we might. I'm going to take that. I'm going to throw my nut driver. Where'd you go? Get back here. I'm going to throw that because that's also fun. I'm going to take that air cleaner, that air box off, because that looks like it'll give us a whole bunch more room in here. Okay. See if I can get this big head in there. Oh yeah. Would have been a lot easier if I put a universal on there, but whatever. You don't have to take this air box off to get in here, but it sure as hell makes it a lot easier. What I'm doing right now is loosening up the cable stay for the choke so I can slip that bit right out, and then hopefully without too much trouble, there we go, pull that out of the way. See, this is one of the years EZGO really made a big mess of this crap. Putting all this anti-tamper garbage on here. There. Sometimes you have to lower the starter generator up out of the way to get the damn carburetor off. Nonsense, I tell you. Nonsense. Okay. That's a 12 mil. Let's get my little drip pan here. Let me drain the liquid out. See all that gel? That is why this engine stopped running. Solid, solid chunks. Carburetor cleaner is also good for shooting mosquitoes. See, this bowl has a whole bunch of rust inside. Let's see if I can mount this somewhere to give you better light here. Turn it up a little bit. See, I don't know if you can see in there. But that's all rusted in there. So I think what I'm going to try to do is scrape it out. I might have to try to scrape that out. That's what happens when the water gets in your gas. Well, needless to say, this carb has seen better days. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to disassemble it here. Okay. And then I'm going to take it over to the parts washer disassembled and kind of clean this top part off. I don't think I've ever cleaned the carb on this cart before. Okay, so I took it over to the parts washer. Unfortunately, I can't get the main jet out. I got this disassembled as far back as I can go without breaking it. I'm going to try to just clean it the way it is. Sometimes it works. I know it's not 100% the way I would like to go. I mean, I would absolutely much rather to completely disassemble the carb and clean everything out, but we're going to try this first. If it runs and runs good, we'll leave it, and we'll have to let her know that she potentially may need a carburetor. Because if you can't get the emulsion tube out, which, I mean, I could probably get it out if I really beat on it, but it becomes a certain point, or you get to a certain point where it just doesn't make a difference. Beating on it, or do you really want to beat on it, or would you rather just, I'd rather just replace it and give it something new. Like I said, we're going to try this first and see what happens. Okay, so I'm going to put this right here. I cleaned it off as best I could, and that gunk is not coming off. It just does not want to come off. What I really would like to try to do, though, is get as much of this rust out of here as I can, because I know over time it's only going to rust again. So, like I said, I am going to let her know about it. I'm going to say, hey, you're going to need a new carburetor at some point. Do you want it now? I may just tell her that anyway, because in all reality, I wonder if I have one. Because this is going to happen again. You know what I mean? With the bowl being rotted out in the bottom like that, it's going to happen again. And I can't get the main jet out. Now, let's put a carb on it. I really don't like half-assing stuff. I mean, because the issue I have with, you know, just putting in this carburetor is she may have this problem again or she may not. If she has this problem again, I'm going to be right back to where I started. Okay, so we have a carb for it. Carb 11A. This is for the 295cc EZGO engines. So there is our brand spanking new carburetor. As you can see, it's got a much bigger bowl on it, that's for sure. Okay. Like I said, guys, I'm not trying to just throw parts at it. I'd rather try to repair it, but with the issue that this is having, especially with how the condition of that carburetor, not being able to disassemble it to clean it properly it's an issue for me. So I would much rather take it apart, clean it totally, and put it back together and not half-ass it. So this solution here is going to allow me to just bypass that entire problem that it has where we can't get it apart. And if you come across a carb that you can't clean, I would much rather see you try to clean the carburetor first before you throw one in your cart. Because chances are your carburetor's fine, but if you can't get it to pull apart, then you're going to have to replace it. If you want to do it the right way, of course. Let's flip this hose clamp around. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, you should be able to see what I'm doing. There. Now you can see me and I can see you. And I know for a damn fact that is going to happen again because of the condition of that carburetor. The bowl is shot. The bowl is shot. The carbs come with new overflow tubes as well. But one thing I noticed when they manufacture these carburetors, they never really make these overflow tubes like a consistent shape. They're always so different. And then there's a little clip down on the bottom here that the hoses are supposed to go into. And then they just overflow down to underneath the thingamajig. And then we'll put this PCV hose back on. Put the PCV connection on here goes towards the carburetor. Now we can install that back on. This one's a little bit worse for wear, but as long as it stays on and it's not leaking, it's fine. So here's a question for you guys, all right? I own a mini excavator, all right, a little Bobcat 335, 2009 model, pre-emissions, woohoo! I have a few junk carts that are just not worth putting any money into. Would you guys be interested in seeing a video of me crush a golf cart with the excavator? Let me know down in the comments if that'd be something you'd be interested to see. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be like, oh my God, it's a perfectly good golf cart. And trust me, it's not. The ones that I'm going to crush, I have a few older two-cyclers where the engines are toast. And it's not worth me putting any money into them. There's a multitude of problems with them. blown engines, bad ignition systems. Just little issues that they're not worth fixing because of the nature of the problem. It's not something that I'm really looking to just put any money into because of how old they are. I don't know. I have a couple of them that are just totally trashed, that have no resale value to them. So it's going to be something that I'm considering doing. I mean, I'm going to get rid of them anyway. They're just going to go to the scrapyard because of how much money I would have to invest in order to sell them, to make them drivable. And I'm not really looking forward to doing that, so I'm going to crush them with the excavator. But I would like to share that with you if that is something that you guys would be interested in seeing. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments below if that's something that you would be completely interested in watching. See if we get a running engine here. I'm going to try to let it start on its own with no choke. Here it goes. It's going to cough and hiccup a little bit. May backfire. Okay, I'm going to put the air cleaner on because I see all this crap floating around. I don't want to really see it get sucked in. Yeah, it's only leaves and stuff, but still, we just went through all that BS to get it running, so we don't want to fudge it up. So yeah, again, let me know down below if that's something you would like to see. It's something I would definitely would like to share with you. You see what I'm doing? Tightening the airbox up here. I think it would be fun to show you that. I've done it before, so I mean, it's not going to be the first time that I've done it. I have some old electrics that I've destroyed. Some of the old resistor carts that were just so far gone, like the frames are rotted out. I think you'd enjoy that very much. Oh, look at that, that's busted. I think you guys would enjoy that very much, actually. Too bad my welder is down. I can't even fix that. I have a cart that I got to put a battery cage in, battery tray, and I can't build the tray because my welder has broken. Okay. That was our problem. Brand new carburetor. Like I said, I probably could have made this one work, but I know it would be back here in a month, 2 months at the end of the year with the same issue, so I figured it was just better to eliminate the problem and give it a new carburetor instead of trying to make this one work, because you could see all the corrosion. Yeah, I could probably wire brush that off and clean it up and clean the bottom of the bowl and it'll be fine, but the galvanizing is gone off the inside, so it's only a matter of time where this is just going to keep doing it. It was a much better solution to do it this way rather than trying to make this one work. Plus, I couldn't get it totally apart, and I know that the inside of this thing is going to be clogged with that crap, that gooey stuff. So that was the result there. That's how we fix that. All right, guys, that is it for this one. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Be sure to check the video's description for links to products that I use every single day to bring you these videos and to run my business. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and hit the bell icon to be notified anytime I upload a new video to the channel. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.